Welcome to the Dynamic Learning Hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We've also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. A hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a light classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course, and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching, and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course, and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly, right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later from our college, I get to know about XLR and I enrolled in XLR course. It was really good experience. Our course is
Good evening, all. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Yeah, guys, kindly confirm in the chat, is my voice audible?
Yes, Sushmita, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you for the confirmation. So, is Janvi ma'am will start for the day. You can go ahead and take the course.
Sure. Should we start the discussion, Sushmita?
Yeah, we can start now.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Hi, everybody. Good evening. So, during the session, if there are any queries from your end, you can drop the messages in the chat box. I'll try to attend maximum queries from your end. So, as you know, this 5-day workshop is for just let me share my screen and you do the arrangements and then we can start. Yeah. So give me confirmations from your end. Am I clearly audible? Is my screen visible? Is my voice not breaking? So everything is good on your end,
Yeah,
guys?
all good. Yeah, all good, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. Guys, give me confirmations from your end in the chat box as well. We want this SDP program to be interactive. So as you all know, this would be your project excellence program. We are going to take up two tools, basically Power BI and Tableau. And using Power BI and Tableau, how for a given project, you can use this tool, of course, to analyze your data. So we are going to discuss two different case studies. One case study, we will start with Power BI. Another case study, we will start with Tableau. New project will start with Tableau. So in Power BI, we are going to understand HR analytics. The project is HR analytics. So before moving forward, let me introduce myself. My name is Janvi. I am working as an data analyst and data science and data analytics trainer with XLR. I'm in-house trainer. I myself have 7 years of experience in corporate training and I'm a certified data scientist. So I might help you with the project and how you're going to implement these things for any given project. So you can give me confirmations in the chat box. Are we good to go, guys? Yes, everybody? Shushmita, the chat box is not accessible to the participants.
It is
Can you please?
accessible, ma'am. They
It
can.
is accessible.
Yeah,
They
they can do it. Yeah.
They can drop the messages.
Yeah, they can.
Okay. So yeah, let's get started. I'll keep this in edit mode only. I'll not start the the slides. I'll not start the show because then screen might get stuck up and all. So we are good with this screen. Okay. So given any project, guys, regardless of the tool that you're going to use, given any project, means you will be given the goal. This goal is your problem statement. Right? So as a data analyst, what you are going to do, Of course, you're going to analyze the data. Why you will analyze the data? Because you want to get the insights from the data. Why you want to get insights from the data? Because your next team is going to take data driven decisions. Why they want to take data driven decisions? So that they can improve the business performance. So this is the ultimate goal, right? This is the ultimate goal, to improve the performance of any business. Now the data is available in each and every business, across each and every organization, each and every industry, right? So as a data analyst, you're going to work on the problem statement, given problem statement, right? So given the problem statement, what would be the steps of your approach? How you're going to achieve this? So first of all, what would be the phase 1 of any project? So you will understand your data. Understanding data means you have already acquired the data. You have the data on hand. Even if you want to start with this particular phase, acquiring the data, so you might have to do the surveys, you might have to do web scraping, you might have to take the access to few servers where the data is being stored, and you might fetch, acquire the data, right? So now we are discussing the phases where you already have the data, right? So you've already acquired the data. So after acquiring the data, you will first understand your data. Understanding the data gives you the feel of your data, how your data is, what number of fields do I have, how many records do I have, then what problem statement do I have, and do I have the relevant data? If I have the relevant data, what are the fields that I am going to use to achieve this problem statement? All of this you do in the first phase, that is understanding your data. The more efficiently you understand your data, the more clearer your approach would be to solve the problem statement, right? So important, crucial phase, important. Once you have understood your data, you cannot start analyzing your data because your data might be raw. Your data might be raw. It might have duplicate values, missing records, null values, outliers, incorrect records, incorrect data values, incorrect formats. So these are very basic things, right? So your data might be very raw data. So if you feed wrong data, you will analyze the wrong things. So once you have raw data, you will have to transform your data, right? So that it is clean. This particular phase is called data preparation. So you will prepare the data, right? In phase 2, you'll prepare your data for your analysis. Then in phase 3, your data might be across multiple tables. I'll take up an example to show you this. So your data might be across multiple tables. So for example, you are doing sales analysis of some store which has many outlets across the country. So they are maintaining different tables. In a layman language, let me use this word, different tables. So one of the table might be the product table, in which they have the information about the product, ID of a product, name of the product, how many, what is the price of the product, quantity of the product that we have stocked up. This kind of information we have in product table. Then another table might be customers table. So in customers table, they have the information like name of the customer, contact information about the customer was registered with us. So first purchase date, the customer registration date, customer contact information, the customer is from which state, city, country, the amount, credit limit of the customer. So all the demography about the customer might be stored. So information about the customer is in this particular table. There might be another table. It's called orders table. In orders table, we might have the information about the orders placed by the customer for a particular product at a particular outlet. So in this particular table, you might have ID of the order, date on which the order was placed, ID of the customer who placed the order, product ID for which the order was placed, quantity, how much quantity of that product was purchased, the total billing amount of that customer. You might have billing or transaction related information in this particular table. So now you are able to understand that each and every table is capturing a different set of information. Each and every table is capturing different set of information. Okay. But what can be your problem statement? Your problem statement might be as simple as this, that number of orders per customer, which product is in demand. So product in demand. As simple as this. So product in demand, you want the details about the product and how much in demand the product is. So the information of the product is coming from the product table, and the information about the orders is coming from the orders table. So what you might have to do, you might have to create the link between these tables. You might have to create the links between this table so that you can do this type of analysis. So the next phase comes up is data modeling or data combining, right? So in the basic layman language, data combining, but in technical terms, you say data modeling. So you do data modeling. Once you have created the model, you're good to go to do the analysis. So you will work on the problem statement. For this particular problem statement, to resolve this problem statement, you might have to create multiple visuals, multiple reports based on what is your problem statement. You might have to create multiple reports, multiple visuals, right? So in this particular phase, during the analysis, what do? You want to identify behavior of data. You want to identify any patterns, if that at all are present in the data. Right? So you want to identify what is the behavior of the data. You want to identify what is, if at all, any pattern is present in the data. And you might, using this, you might want to work on the specific problem statement requires specific visuals. You might want to work on that as well. So this cannot be done using one visual, right? You might have to create multiple visuals for doing the same thing, right? So the phase 4 will be analysis, analyzing your data. Once you have analyzed your data, right, you want to find out the conclusions. This conclusions is in layman language. Means what? You want to find out the insights. Insights means the technical statement using the statistical measures you can say about the behavior or the pattern that you have found out from your data. This is called insight, right? Your conclusion, your observation in technical terms using statistical terms. So you might have to find out the insights, right? Once you have found out the insights, then phase 6 is to present your insights. To present your insights, what you might have to do, you might have to plug this multiple relevant, you want to plug multiple relevant visuals on the same page, on the same screen. So the same space, same screen where you have plugged the multiple relevant visuals together at same place is called dashboard. This is called dashboard. Why we create dashboard? Because these visuals, these reports might be per page. Each page you have used and each page you have created visuals. But the one who is going to take, or a team who is going to take the data-driven decisions, they might want to see the bigger picture. They'd want to see all of your analysis together so that they might compare the things and then take the data-driven decisions. So you might want to present each of your insights on the same page, on the same place, on the same screen. This is called dashboard. And using dashboard, you might present your insights to the next team. So these are the generic, very generalized phases to solve any problem statement given any tool in data analytics. So give me quick confirmation. Are we clear up to this? Yeah, guys, can I get confirmations from your end, participants? You can post the queries as well. Shivakumar, thanks for the confirmation. Anybody else, please, please, if you are able to understand, not able to understand, if you want to post any queries, I'll give you 5 minutes to do so. So you can post your query, I can address them. Yeah, no queries from your end, guys. Everybody, please confirm from your end. Are we going good? Okay, let's continue then. So, yes, any project, first you understand the data, you prepare your data. Once you have prepared each and every table of yours, you can do the data modeling. Once you have done the data modeling, you can start your analysis. Once you have analyzed your data, you can present your insights. For presenting your insights, you might want to create the dashboard as well. So there would be one more intermediate phase to create a dashboard. Once you create the dashboard, then using the dashboard, you may present your insights for the next team to take data-driven decisions. Okay. So coming to the tool, so let me introduce you to the tool that is Power BI. So Power BI, we are going to do the project case study using Power BI. So what is Power BI? Power BI is a business intelligence tool that is used to create visuals for analysis, right? This tool is like a complete package. It is consisting of services, softwares, plus connectors, plus services, using which you can analyze your data. The services that Power BI offers basically is Power BI Desktop and Power BI Service. Connectors means what? Your data might be across multiple data sources. So for example, SQL Server, and you are doing the analysis using Power BI Desktop. This is altogether different application, and this is altogether different application, right? So to communicate these two applications want to communicate with each other, because this application is storing the data and this application is creating the visuals using the data that is stored in this application. So they might want to communicate with each other. So there is one more application that are called connectors. So particularly the connector between these two would be ODBC. So using this connector, these two applications might communicate with each other, right? So many softwares, connectors, and services together is Power BI. Power BI is a business intelligence tool which is used to create the interactive visuals. Now let us understand what is Power BI Desktop and what is Power BI Service. So Power BI Desktop is basically a developer's tool. Developer's tool means the one who is going to analyze the data, the one who is going to create the visuals. So if you want to create the visual, you will use Power BI Desktop. Power BI Service is a tool where you can share your work, you can collaborate with others, you can share your dashboard page or report across a cloud-based platform for others to view, right? So this is like an application which is installed on your system. Local on your system. This is cloud-based platform. Right? So if I give you analogy, then this is like your Gmail application. Using this app, you can create an email, you can send an email, you can sort, filter your email. And this is like the Gmail server. where all of your emails are stored. You can retrieve email from this via server. These emails can be sent to other users. So for you to send email to the another person, that person should also have Gmail account. You should also have the Gmail account. And on the Gmail server, all of yours and all of theirs emails and all relevant data is being stored. And you can access and share the data, email, using the common platform, that is a cloud-based platform. Okay, so this is just an analogy for you to understand. So using the Power BI desktop, you can create the visuals, and using the Power BI service, you can share, collaborate your work with others. So now we are going to start with the project, right? So of course, because we want to create the visuals, we are going to use Power BI desktop. Okay, so I've already installed this particular product. So I'll just open up this. So you are able to see this is Power BI desktop, right? This is the Power BI desktop application. We are going to discuss about HR analytics. Okay, the data set that we have. So let me show you the data as well. So the data set we have is HR1 and HR2. This data set is having, this data set is having 50K plus records. Each is having 50K, 50,000 plus data records. It is in Excel, and we are going to analyze employee retention. So first of all, let us understand this particular data set. Our first phase, let us understand the HR analytics. Why at all HR wants to do the analytics? So to find out the effectiveness of HR functions, whether the employee is performing good, employee is satisfied. In short, for analyzing the effectiveness of HR functions and employee performance, organization's health, HR analysis is done. There can be many problem statements. Each and every problem statement will have different KPIs. KPIs means key performance indicators, right? So uh, each and every problem statement might have different KPIs on which you might have to work. So here I have taken 3 examples for you to understand it better. So the problem statement or the vertical can be recruitment and hiring KPIs. So you want to analyze recruitment, how efficient our recruitment and hiring process is. So what can be the KPIs? Do you understand KPIs? KPI stands for key performance indicators. KPI stands for key performance indicators. These are the measures that shows you how good or bad your organization is behaving, performance of your organization is. So this is called KPI, key performance indicators. So the KPIs for recruitment and hiring can be what? Time to hire. So what is the average time taken to hire for a job posting? Quality of hire, right? How good the employee that has been hired is. So quality of hire, cost per hire. what is cost to company involved in hiring a particular employee. Offer acceptance rate. We have hired them, we have presented them offer letter. So what is the percentage that they are accepting and joining? Right? So these are the KPIs that can analyze the effectiveness of recruitment and hiring. Then, for example, there can be another vertical, employees' performance and productivity. So what can be the KPIs for employees' performance and productivity? How productive an employee is. So you might have to take the ratings survey from the managers of each and every employee. Once you have acquired the data, then you can work upon these KPIs. What can be the KPIs? Performance rating distribution, right? Means based on the performance, we can just segregate high performing employees and low performing employees, right? Based on few matrices, based on the rating. Simple metrics can be the rating given by a manager. So 1 to 3 rating are low performing. 4, 5 might be high performing employee. Simple terms. Then goal completion rate. So it measures the objectives achieved. So whatever objectives were given to an employee, whether he is completing the task or not, at what rate he is completing the task, whether he is meeting the deadlines or not. Revenue per employee. So what amount of revenue the employee is able to generate for the company. So we can analyze the performance and productivity of an employee. So this can be the KPIs. Next can be employee retention, right? So we want to keep the employee. What is our goal? Our goal is employee retention. So we want to keep the employee, and at what rate they are leaving the company. Why we are going to do this analysis? Because we want to find out the root cause. What are the factors that are influencing the employee to leave the job or to stay in a job, right? So whatever we are going to do is employee retention. So what KPIs we are going to work upon? So average attrition rate for all the departments. At what rate they are leaving the department. Hourly rate, attrition rate, months versus monthly statistic. We will do this analysis to find out whether the salary, monthly income of an employee is affecting the attrition rate or what. Whether the average working years is influencing the employee's retention. Whether the work-life balance, whether the satisfaction, job satisfaction of an employee is affecting the attrition or not. So our dashboard would be operational dashboard, which will keep check on all these KPIs. So I believe we are clear up to this, guys. Let me know, everybody. Hello, hello. Are we clear up to this? Can you please drop quick messages in the chat box, guys? Shiva Kumar, thanks for the confirmation. What about others, guys? Are we clear up to this? You're able to understand? Abhishek, Vidya, thanks for confirming. So after each and every topic, once we finish, I'll give 1 or 2 minutes. If you want to ask anything, we can address the queries. Okay, nice. That's it, right? So let us discuss Y average. So this is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Y average. Average is measure of central tendency, guys. Measure of central tendency means what? On an average, what is behavior? What is the central tendency? To measure that, we use either median or average or mode, which gives you the overall behavior, central behavior of your data. That's why average. Okay. I believe I've answered your question. Okay. Chalo. So now I'm going to start with the first phase, that is understanding your data. So we have these two particular data sets, HR1 and HR2. In HR1, what information? First of all, you have to notice that this particular data set is in Excel, right? So what do we have here? Age of an employee. So let us just convert this to table. If you convert any data set to table, you will have this kind of drop downs. So now this data set is not a simple range, it is a table. So to convert the data set into table, what you have to do is on the home page, right, you have this option, format as table. You can be anywhere in the data from the home page, format as table. You can select any theme. Once you select any theme, means that particular data will be converted to the table. This kind of window will open up where your data is. So this is the range of your data. You can just check. This dancing lines is the range of your data. So our data is in A1 to R5 50,001, and this table is having headers. Headers means the column names. So first row is having the headers. That's why we have checked this, right? So my table is having the headers. Okay. So once you click on OK, this data range will be converted to table. This is the first thing that you have to do. You can even use the shortcut Control T, works the same. During this, right, once you convert this to a table, at Excel level, if you just want to remove the duplicates, right? So in the data, in the table design tab, right, you have this option called remove duplicates, right? You want to remove the duplicates from which field? So you can remove the duplicate from particular field if at all that is required. Here, the whole record. If you select all, means it will delete the record. I'll just show you an example. So, for example, we are just deleting the duplicates department and you click on OK. So can you see this many records were deleted? So anything that was duplicate means coming second time or third time, multiple time in only department was discarded. Of course, we don't want to do that, right? So we'll not do it. But if at all you want to remove the duplicates from each and every field, a specific field, a specific column, you can use this remove duplicate. You can select a particular field and select all will remove the duplicate records. Okay. We are not going to do data cleaning in Excel. So we'll not do any of the task in Excel, right? So yeah, This is your table. Here, you are able to see what is the data. So you have been given the age of the employee. If you just click on this drop down, you will be able to see the age starts from 18 up to 60, right? But we will see all these things in Power BI, right? So let us understand the data. Age of an employee, attrition, whether he has left the company or is still with the company. So you have two fields here. Data value. Yes, no. Yes means he's left. No means he's still with us. Business travel. So how is the nature of job? Does it require travel for a particular employee? So non-travel, frequently traveling, and rarely. The employee is traveling rarely. There are three levels: non-travel, frequent travel, traveling rarely. Then this is the daily rate. Daily rate, daily rate. Then we have daily rate. Daily rate means every day. What is the compensation employee is getting? So, for example, the employee monthly, yearly compensation is $60,000, and his total working days is, for example, 200. So, this is his daily rate, right? Total working days, and the total compensation the company is giving this particular employee, yearly compensation. Okay. So this is the daily rate. Then the department of an employee. So employee is working in which particular department? Distance from home. This is in terms of kilometers. So distance, how far the employee lives from the particular location. Then we have the education, levels in education. So 1 being entry level, 5 being highly educated. So we have been given 5 levels in terms of education. Then field in education, right? Which field he is currently in. So these are the field of education. Then employee count. You are able to see employee count. Everywhere is 1. Employee count is 1. Means this data is one employee's data. Not required, because everywhere if you have the same data field, right, same value in the data field, it's not required. Why would you analyze anything across this? So we might want to remove this. We will keep this noted that employee count is not required for analysis. We will discard this while preparing the data. Employee number. So employee number is the ID that we are giving to the employee. So employee number works as employee ID. Environment satisfaction, the cultural environment, how much employee is satisfied with the work culture of the company. So the employee during the survey has given the rating 1 to 5, but here you are able to see nobody has given the 5 rating. So here we have only 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So this is the employee satisfaction, right? The rating given by an employee, how satisfied he is with the work culture. Then this is the gender, right? So for example, you might want to analyze the diversity and inclusiveness of the organization. So you might want to analyze this as well. So how many male, how many female across the gender. So male and female, this is the gender. Hourly rate. So per hour, like per daily rate, hourly rate. What is the hourly rate of an employee? So per hour, how much he is getting the compensation. Job involvement. He is involved in how many jobs? So this is job involvement, 1 or 2 or maximum 4 jobs he is being involved in. Job level, 1 being least, 5 being highest. So what is the level of his job? So company might have categorized many jobs into one level. So this is job level, job role. So this is job role. So in which role he is working. So this is the job role, right? Then you have job satisfaction, how much he is satisfied. Environment satisfaction is cultural satisfaction, right? Environment of the company, cultural satisfaction. This is altogether a different category. That is job satisfaction, how much he is satisfied with his job. 1 being least, 4 being highest. Then the marital status of the employee, whether he's single, married, or divorced. So this is the marital status of an employee. I believe HR1 is clear to everybody, guys. HR1 is clear to everybody? Yeah. Then we have, okay, nice. Thanks for the confirmation. Then we have HR2. Okay. So here we are able to see few more verticals, few more fields captured. Stock option levels. So stock option is across multiple verticals. So if you just understand it at this level, that how much stock or shares he is holding in a particular organization, or how much options to the resources he is having in a particular organization. 1 being the highest level, 4 being the least level. So the employees working at entry level, their stock option level might be 4. Understand like that. So this is the total working hours of each and every employee. The training times last year, how many times training was done for this particular employee? Work-life balance. So again, the employee has given the rating, how much work and life balance he is able to manage, maintain. So 1 being least, 4 being maximum. Years at company. 33 is the total working hours. So this particular employee is working since 33 years. But in this particular company, he is working since 16 years, like that. In the current role, he is working since 4 years. Years since last promotion, he got last promoted since 14 years. And he is currently working with a particular manager since 3 years. So are we clear with this data, guys? Yeah, let me know. Are we clear with this data set? Yeah. Then we have other things as well. Let us explore it. So this is employee ID. So in HR1, we had employee number. Here we have the employee ID. So employee having ID 6 is having this much of monthly income, monthly rate, the number of companies he has worked with, he is over 18 or not. So here also you are able to see everywhere it is yes. So again, not required for the analysis. Everybody working at our organization is over 18, right? Not required. Is he doing overtime? Yes or no. The percentage hike in the salary. So this is the percentage hike. Performance rating. This rating was given by the manager, current manager, right? So performance rating. Relationship satisfaction. So relationship satisfaction means the relationship between him and manager, how much he is satisfied with his manager. So he has also given the rating. So these are the standard working hours. So here also you are able to see standard working hours. Everybody's standard working hours is 80. Again, of no use to us. Okay. So this is all about phase 1, understanding the data. Once you have understand the data, right? So using Power BI desktop, right? Now from that Excel, the place where your data is, you want to fetch the data in your Power BI desktop. You have to understand this very clearly, that this is your data source, where your data is. So my data is in this particular folder, which is maybe in C drive desktop, right? So currently this place is my data source. Your data source, your data might be on SQL Server or Workbench, or not on your local system, somewhere else. So that is your data source, right? So this is your data source. Our data source is this, right? Then this is your Power BI desktop. Power BI application, Power BI desktop application has a cache memory. In which the data that you're fetching from the data source is loaded. And the visuals that you are creating here is using this data, right? So this is the default configuration. Okay. So this is how the arrangement looks like. Okay. So fine. Now we want to extract the data from the data source. Then we want to transform the data. So to get the data from the data source, on your home tab, you have the option called Get Data. In the data group, you have the option called Get Data. If you just click on this Get Data, right, these are the different data sources from which you can extract your data and load it to Power BI desktop. So this is Excel workbook, Power BI data sets, data flows, if you have at all created on Power BI service, text, CSV. You can even extract the data from web. Okay. So now understand, our data is in Excel. Okay. So we'll click on Excel. Where is the data? So you will navigate to the path where your data is. So this is HR1. Click on open. So Power BI desktop is connecting to the data source. In HR1, you have sheet 1. So click and click on load. If you want to load it directly on the Power BI desktop, you can click on load. But before loading this data, you want to do the transformations. That is, you want to treat your data. So you might want to transform your data. So you will click this transform data. First of all, I'll show you how to load the data. So click on load. It will take a couple of seconds. So your data is loaded. Then you want to load another data set as well, which is again in Excel, which is HR2. Click on open. This is available here. Click on load. Right? So your data has been loaded. What has been done? Let me just show you visually. So this was your data source. This is your Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop has in memory, right, which is a cache memory. This 50K records are now loaded here, right? So this is case 1. I believe we are clear up to this, guys. Let me know. Hello, everybody. Are we clear up to this? You're not interactive, guys. Only one or two participants are giving the answers in the chat box. Yeah, you can ask me questions even. Thanks, Abhishek, for the confirmation. Vidya, thanks for the confirmation. Okay, Vaishnavi, thanks for the confirmation. Okay, guys, if you want, you can post your queries in the chat box. Okay. Chalo. So this is your case one. Case one is what? You're directly loading your data, right? Without transformation. See, you have not done any kind of transformations, right? But you don't want to do this. What you want to do? What is the general approach? So this is your data source, right? And here sits your Power Query editor. Using the Power Query editor, you will transform your data. So you will load your data into Power Query editor. All the transformation. So raw data is coming. You are transforming the data. And then here, clean data is flowing. So this is also cache only, right? But one more phase is added. So now the clean data is getting loaded for your visual. This is case 2. And this is the case that is widely used. Are we clear on this, guys? Everybody, let me know. Are we clear on this? Okay, nice. Now let us understand what is this Power Query editor and how to do it. So this is your Power BI desktop application. Majorly, it has got 3 components. Right? So, first component is creating the interactive visuals. So, Power View. Using this component, you can create interactive visuals. This is that component. Here, you are able to see the visual, right? So, if at all, I just create a small visual for you to just understand this, right? So, on y-axis, we might want to use business travel, and on x-axis, so employee number, right? So how many employees? Let us just turn on the formatting. So this many employees are not traveling. This many employees are traveling frequently, and this many employees are traveling very rarely. Not the sum, we will do count. So 16K, almost 16,000 employees are not traveling. Almost 16,000.6 employees are traveling very frequently, and almost 16,000.5K employees are traveling rarely. So this is the first component, Power View. You can create interactive visuals using this view. Okay. Then the second component is your Power Pivot. Using this component, you can do data modeling. I already explained you what is data modeling. So here also HR1 and HR2. The few information about employee is captured in HR1, and few information about employee is captured in data HR2. You might want to analyze HR1 and HR2. So you might want to connect this to table. right? So this is the Power Pivot model view, right? So here you are able to see the model of your, this is yet unconnected, not connected, right? Because we have not done modeling yet, that's why. But this is the model view, okay? Then you have the third component, which is Power Query. Power Query is your ETL tool. So this is another tool that comes up with Power BI desktop. Using this tool, you can do ETL activities. What do you mean by ETL activity? Extract, transform, and load. Extract the data from data source, only relevant data you want to extract. For example, you are working as an HR. The particular company is across multiple locations: Hyderabad, Pune, Bengaluru, Mumbai, multiple locations, but you are the HR at Mumbai location. So why would you at all analyze the other records that belongs to Bengaluru or Hyderabad or Pune? Correct? You want only those records that belongs to Mumbai. So you will extract your data, but filtered data. Can you do that? Yes, you can do this using Power Query Editor. Now again, your data is raw. The data that you have extracted is raw. So you might want to prepare the data. You want to do transformations on the data. How you will do? You will do it using Power Query Editor. All transformations can you do? Yes, this is very strong analytical, means very strong ETL tool. So yes, you can perform all the transformations. Once you have applied the transformations, of course, you want to load it back. Where? To Power BI desktop, so that you can do further analysis. So all these things you can do using Power Query. So Power BI desktop has this three components, major components, right? That is, there is Power Q&A and Power Map as well, but majorly these three components. Power View, using which you can create interactive visuals. Power Pivot, using which you can do the data modeling. Power Query, using which you can do ETL activities. So here I'm taking a 5 minutes of break for you to ask anything if you want. Go for it. So if there are any queries, guys, I can address it. You want me to ask anything, guys? Are we going good? Let me know. Hello, hello. Are we going good? Okay. What about others? Let me know, guys. Shiva, HR1 and HR2 is the data set, the files which contains the data. Okay, the name of the files. Okay, chalo, let's continue then. Are we sure we don't have any queries? Okay, fine. Okay, nice. Okay, so what we will do is we will not adhere to case 1, we will adhere to case 2, where we already know that our data is not clean. We have few duplicate records, we have few fields not required, right? We want to just do the cleaning, right? So what will you do? You'll not go to home and get data. Rather, see, now we don't have the data, right? I'll just discard everything. So this is as good as new project. I'm discarding everything. Okay. So I've just opened up the desktop, right? And let's get started. So on the home tab, you will click to transform data. This particular in the queries, this transform data helps you to redirect to Power Query Editor. So we will click transform data. So now you are able to see this is altogether another editor, which is Power Query Editor. In this Power Query Editor, we will extract the data. So new source, here you can extract your data. So new source, our source is Excel workbook, HR1, click on open. This is what we want. Click on OK. And we want another data set as well. New source, Excel workbook, HR2. Click on open. Right? We want to load this and click on OK. Got it? So this is your Power Query Editor. Let me just briefly introduce you to this editor. So anything in Power Query is referred as query. So your table are referred as query. This is the query navigator. You can navigate to HR1 to HR2 from this. So for example, you first want to rename this worksheets, right? So rename, and this is employee demography, right? And for example, this is employee statistics, employee stats. Okay. So you can navigate from this to this to this, right? Whichever they are independent of each other, not connected yet. This query setting here, query setting, all the transformations that you are going to apply on this particular table are going to get recorded. They're going to get recorded. So any new data records that comes up, so आपका HR1 or HR2 है, you have HR1 and HR2. If any new records are coming up, currently we have only 50K records. Maybe we are hiring new 50K employees, right? So new record coming up. You will not have to do the transformations again and again and again. Any new records are coming up, transformations will be applied, and that up-to-date transformations you will be able to see in your analysis on your desktop, right? So you have to only do it once, and to all the new coming up records, this will be applied. For that, all the steps has to be recorded. So the steps are recorded in a language called mesh language. So Power Query Editor uses mesh language, which is case sensitive, which is very much like SQL. You have to learn this language if you want to do the coding of this language, right? So yeah, everything, all the things that you are going to do is going to get recorded. These are the tabs. Here you have the menu bar. These are the tabs, different tabs on which you have the relevant functionalities which you can apply to do the transformations. Okay. So now let's get started. So employee demo. This is one of the table. What transformations you can apply? So checklist of the transformations. What you should check for. So first of all, you should check for duplicate columns or records. If there are present. If they are at all present, you discard duplicate columns or records. You check for null values. Null values, if at all you have, you might remove null values, or you might impute something in place of null values. So this is called null value treatment, treating null values. Removing null values is not recommended, because once you remove the null values, you are losing the data. Data is important to you. Data is very precious to data analyst. So you might not want to remove it. So what you can do? You can replace the null values. You can replace. Null means blank, absence of data. You can replace null values using the standard methods, right? You will learn this, but using the standard methods, you can replace the null values. Once you have treated the null values, then you can see for incorrect records, erroneous records, if at all, you discard, right? Then you may check the data formats, especially the dates. So date is in date format or not. Currency is in currency format. Time is in time format or not. You will check the date formats. If not, you will change. You will rectify. So you will check the data formats. Once you have checked the data formats, then what you can do? You can see that are we having all the fields necessary for analysis, right? Are we having all the necessary fields? If not, you can add new features. Features means columns. You can add new features. You can add new columns, right? So this is a very general checklist which you can do while preparing your data, right? So let us see how to prepare the data. Okay. So what we are going to do is, this is Power Query Editor. On this drop down, you have the option to filter, right? Or to do the sorting, right? On the transform tab, you have all the options that you can use to transform, right? So general transformations, what you can do is, so on the transform tab, first of all, for example, you don't have this. So let me just untreat this. Okay. So you might have something like this. This is not correct, right? Data is not correctly loaded. So your headers are in first row. What you might want to do, you might want this header in the first row. So the first treatment, use first row as header. So the first row will come up in the header, right? Then for example, what did we see? Age. Age has to be number. If you just click on this drop down, you will be able to see there are no blanks, there are no nulls. Load more, you will be able to see there are no blank, there are no nulls. You can also see the column on the view tab, columns distribution, profile, and quality, right? So the age column, this is the statistic of your column. So this is your column ka profile. Okay. So count is 1000. Average age is 39. Standard deviation is 12. There are 505 odd and 495 even, not required. We are interested in this, that average age is 39 years. So this is how your data is distributed. So highest number of employees are of age 36. You are able to see this. And lowest number of employees are aged 18. Okay. So this is the column profile. For each and every column, you may just check this. Right? So this is how you can check the columns profile. Then column distribution. How the data is distributed in each and every column. So here you are able to see the distribution, right, of each and every data value. So again, we saw that there is 43 distinct values and 0 unique values, right? Also, the distribution of age is like this. There are 0% empty. So this particular column is not having null value. 0% error. So this particular column is not having any erroneous data as well. You can check this distribution, profile, and quality of the column. For each and every column, you can do that. Okay, so I'll just turn on this quality. First check. Second check. Age is a number. It is in number format, right? Whole number. Attrition is ABC. It is in ABC. Business travel, ABC. Text, it is correct format. Similarly, daily rate is 1 to 3, correct format. Do you have to do this for each and every field? Yes. That's why data preparation phase takes up the longest amount of time, right? So yes, you have to do it for each and every field. Department, so it is also ABC. Distance from home, education, field, everything is in the correct format. Okay. So employee number, environment is in number, gender is in ABC. Here we don't have the date, right? So we are not worried about the date format. Hourly rate 123, 123, ABC, 123, ABC. Marital status, ABC. Sounds fine. So first check is done. Data formats, done. Right. Data format, because 0% empty hai, that's why we can do this, right? If at all we have null values. So I'll just show you. So for example, attrition, let us replace, impute something, right? So on the transform, you have the option to replace. Let us replace values, right? No with 0. So this is how you can replace. And let us replace yes with 1. So now let us change the format to whole number, right? Attrition. So for example, if we want to find out the rate, so we'll have to replace this. So we have replaced, we have treated this particular column. Is this required? Yes, we will keep it as it is, right? Then all these fields are also required. We will keep them as it is, right? So how to replace? So I've shown you how to replace something. Now, for example, you want to replace null values. So we don't have any null values, but if at all you wanted to do that. So find null, you have to write down null and replace it, for example, with 0, right? So you will write down replace null with 0. Click on OK, right? We don't have any null values, so not effective. Okay. Then, for example, you want to impute blank, incorrect data, incorrect values. So replace value, blank ko blank chhod do, leave it blank. And then you can replace it, for example, with 1 to 3. Click on OK. So blanks will be replaced with 1 to 3. I believe we are clear up to this, guys. How to replace, impute null, blank, or incorrect values. Are we clear up to this, guys? Let me know. Hello. Yeah. So once you have done this, okay, so using this replace, you can do that. Okay. Now, for example, here, what do we have? This employee count is not required. So on your home tab, you have the option to remove the column. We'll remove this particular column, not required for analysis. It will not get deleted from the data source. Data source, no changes are happening at the data source. It is happening at Power BI Desktop's Power Query Editor level, right? No change in your data source. Then, for example, we had this. Okay, here we wanted to just discard this. Okay, so discard this, right? That is employee count. So probably this is treated, done. Then we will go to employee stats. This is the employee ID 123, monthly income 123, rate this, yes. Whether he is over 18, so everywhere we have yes. Why? Right? Nothing else. Is it required? No, not required for analysis. We will drop this column, remove column. Overtime, yes, no, we will keep. Whether he is doing overtime or not, we will keep. Salary hike, right? So if it at all it is percentage, you can change it to percentage as well. So this is the percentage that you are able to see that originally is not in percentage. So multiply by 100 is happening. So if at all you had 0.15, you would have changed it. Okay, but if at all in future you want to do so, you can do it. So we'll keep it as it is intact. Okay, then performance rating, then relationship satisfaction, standard working hours. Again, we have only 80 hours, right? One value only. We will drop this particular column. So remove column. Then this is the total working hours, travel time, work-life balance, years at the company. Everything in number. Sounds good. Okay, so we have removed unnecessary columns. If you want to remove unnecessary rows, so you have the option called remove rows. So you can remove the duplicate rows, right? So it will remove the duplicate rows, right? For example, we don't have duplicate rows. We don't want to remove. That's why I'm not removing. I'm discarding the steps in between. If you want to remove the rows with error, so you can just click on this, remove errors. Erroneous rows will be discarded, right? Then, for example, you want to remove few top or bottom or alternate rows, you have the options available here. Okay. So this treatment has been done on demo and stats with respect to keeping rows, keeping only relevant rows, keeping only relevant columns, and imputing the treating the null values or incorrect values. This phase is done. Right. Now, for example, for your analysis purpose, you might want to add new columns, right? So maybe basis on monthly income, you're able to see the monthly income. So just go to view and you are able to see the columns distribution or column profile, right? So here the minimum monthly income is 1000. Maximum monthly income is 50, almost 60,000. So based on this monthly income, we want to, or monthly rate, let us use monthly rate, right? So based on this, we want to just categorize our employees into 3 categories. high income, moderate income, and low income. Are we clear on this, guys? Right? So let us categorize this. So we want to add a new column. So let us just turn this off. Add new column. So this is a conditional column. Conditional column is employee salary status based on monthly rate. If it is less than or equal to, right? If it is less than or equal to, for example, 50K, or let us take 25K, then the income is low. If the monthly rate is less than or equal to, for example, 1 lakh, then moderate, right? Else his income is high. So the new salary status has been added, new column. So adding new features, click on OK. So you are able to see now we have high, low, and moderate. You're able to see your mixed ABC 1, 2, 3. What you will do is, instead of this, you will fix this. You'll keep it only ABC, that is text. You have high salary, low salary, and moderate salary. Got it? I believe we are clear up to this, yeah? So adding new features based on the field that is already present, right? You can create or add new features as well. So adding the column, okay. Then for example, you want to add a prefix or suffix, or you want to clean a particular column. So on this, right, add column, you have this option called extract. You can extract, for example, let us just from the overtime, let us extract the first character, right? So 1 and click on OK. So if at all you want to extract something, you can do that. Yes, no, it is available here. See, extract text before delimiter and all, right? So it is available here. We don't want it, so we'll discard this step. This just for demo purpose. Now, for example, you want to set the format. So for example, here, salary status, you want to uppercase. You want everything in uppercase. You can do that, right? For example, you want to add or clean or trim. Trim means discarding unnecessary spaces, right? So you can just you can select a particular field, click on trim. So that particular field, all unnecessary white spaces will be discarded. Then you want to clean means unreadable, unprintable characters, if at all that are present in your particular field. You can select a field, you can clean it, right? You want to add a suffix, prefix, you can do it from the format. So this is all, right? So here we wanted to add a new field, right? So we have added. Uppercase is not required. This is just for you to understand. So I'll discard, right? So salary status added. In employee demo, if at all anything required, so we have just converted this attrition, right? So both the tables being treated, right? Transformed. Now you want to load it back to the Power BI desktop. So on the Home tab, you have the option called Close and Apply. You click on Close and Apply. So it will save all the changes, apply all the changes, load this particular data, treated HR1 and HR2 in the in memory of Power BI desktop. You are now able to see employee demo, employee stats. At Power BI desktop, you can view this employee demo and employee stats in three different view. Report view, right, in which you can create the report. Data view, in which you're able to see the data. You're able to preview the data, right? Then you have the model view. Okay. So this two loaded, and now comes the next phase. What we have completed. So we have understood the data. We have prepared the data. Now we want to do the data modeling. So data modeling is a process during which you create the relationship between two tables using the common field. It is necessary that you have the common field, right? Let me first give you an example, simpler example. Okay. So for example, let us understand the concept, data modeling. So as I told you, we have the product table. So we have the PID and name of the product. I'm taking up only few records. We have customer table. So this is the customer ID and this is the name of the customer. So product, for example, we have product 1, 2, 3 and name of the product is charger, phone and laptop. Then in the customer, we have C1, C2, C3. C1 is Raj, C2 is Meera, C3 is Seema. So these are our registered customers. Okay. And then we have the orders table, in which we have date on which order was placed, then product for which order was placed, customer who placed this order. So for example, 411, order was placed for product 2 by customer C2. On 411, order was placed by customer for product 2 again, but by customer C1. Then in future, order was placed on 311 for product 1 by customer again C2. So now in the chat box, you let me know. If I want to find out which is product 2. So which is product 2? How am I going to find out which is product 2? Let me know, guys. Which is product 2? Can you drop the answers in the chat box? What is the name of product 2? Phone, correct. What is name of product 2? Phone. How did you understood this? Because for product 2, you looked for this particular table, this particular field, and here you found out that product 2 is phone, right? So to connect product and orders, which common field did you use? PID. Which common field did you use? PID. Got it? I hope we are clear. Similarly, to connect this to table, customer and orders, which common field you are going to use, guys? Which is the common field between customer and orders? Customer and orders. So for example, I want to find out who is customer C1. So I'm going to look for what? Yes, yes, very nice, Joshi. Abhishek, correct, correct, nice. So I'm going to look for this, right? So to connect this to table, the common field used is customer ID, and to connect this to table, the common field used is PID. Got it? Similarly, for our data set, we have this employee number and employee ID. This is though the header column ka naam, the header, the name of the column is not similar, but this is the common field between employee demo and employee stats. So what you will do is you will just create the relationship between this employee using employee number and employee ID. How to do that? So on the data model view, home tab, you have the, or on the home tab also, on the home tab you have modeling, right? You can click on manage relationship, or you can go to model view. Here also you have the option called manage relationship. So create a new relationship between the table demo and statistic, which is the common field. So in employee demo, we are going to use employee number, and in statistics, we are going to use employee ID. What is the type of relationship? So it is one to one, right? Cross filter direction is both, right? So this is how you create the relationship. Click on OK. And now click on close. So you are able to see the relationship created between the two tables. This process that we did, the process that we did is called data modeling. And this resultant diagram is called data model. Why is data model required? Why do you need the relationship between two tables? So that you can use field from here and from here to do your analysis. So to analyze the data using the fields across different tables, you first need to create the relationship between the two tables. Once the relationship is established between the two tables, you can analyze the data across multiple tables, right? For this purpose, we created the relationship between the two tables. And that's it. Once you have created the relationship between two tables, your third phase is done. Extracting the data, understanding the data, preparing the data, doing the data model. Now coming to the fourth phase, that is analyzing your data. So here on your canvas, you're going to use the fields across multiple table to do the analysis. Okay, so that's it for today. We will start with the KPIs and working on this data model tomorrow, right? We'll continue tomorrow. But this is your project. You want to save your project, right? So you can save it in the place, wherever, whichever folder you want, right? So browse this device and desktop. This is the project file. So project 1. The file extension of Power BI is PBIX. Click on save. So your project is saved. Okay. So let me know if there are any queries to be addressed. Whatever was covered till now, I can address the queries. So Shushmita, you want to announce anything? Okay, guys, drop your queries in the chat box. I'll address the queries in the chat box. Drop your queries. I'll address each of them. Okay, fine. So I believe you had an insightful session, and there are no queries to be addressed. So I believe you all are clear with the concepts that were covered, right? So if there are no queries, then let's quickly recap the session. So what did we do? So first of all, we understood what is Power BI, right? Power BI has two main services, desktop and Power BI service. Power BI desktop is free developers application using which you can create the visuals. Service is paid service, which is for sharing and collaboration, using which you can share your work, you can collaborate your work across the cloud-based platform. This is on system, local. This is on cloud. So this is cloud-based platform. So first of all, we understood the tool, right? Power BI is a BI tool used for creating interactive visuals. Then we understood the phases of the project, any problem statement given, what are the different phases. So the phases of each and every project, the general generic phases. First of all, you understand the data. Once you understand the data, you prepare the data, right? Your data might be raw, you transform, you prepare the data. Once you have prepared the data, you combine your tables. So you do data modeling. So if at all your data is across multiple tables, you do data modeling. Once data modeling is done, you can start your analysis. Once you've analyzed your data using the reports or visuals, you might want to plug multiple visuals on same page, report. So you create the dashboard. Right? Using this dashboard, you can share your insights. And in future, you can just keep monitoring your dashboard. So these are the phases. We understood the data. We are working on HR analytics. The problem statement is to analyze the employee retention. What factors are influencing the retention of an employee? Our goal is to create the operational dashboard to understand this problem. So we have understood the data. We have prepared the data. We have done the data modeling. Next, we are going to analyze the data. Okay. So this is the brief recap of today's session. Okay, so if we don't have any queries or anything to be addressed, we can just wrap up the session, guys. Yeah. Okay, that's it from my side, guys. Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for
You're
your session.
welcome.
So we'll again meet by tomorrow at the same time at 7 p.m. Okay, thank you. So students, I'm just sharing the attendance link again on the chat. Kindly mark your attendance. If you're done with your attendance, then only you can drop the session. And if you guys has any questions, you can ask me out. I will clear it. If any queries or any question, you can ping on chat. So I have shared the attendance link again on the chat. Kindly mark your attendance. If you're done with an attendance, you can drop the session. remember that 60% of attendance is mandatory. So make sure that you will marking your attendance without any fail. Yeah, I see that's true. Like people are reading. I hope you all mark your attendance. Fine. Thank you, students. Will wind up for the day. Again, we'll meet by tomorrow at the same time at 7 p.m. Thank you all. Good night. Thank you for joining.